Hey guys, Jonathan here, and today we're taking a look at the new 2026 January LEGO Marvel sets, and man oh man, this is one of the most fun waves we've had in quite some time. Now there's a lot to break down here, including a brand new Spider-Man 3 set that I cannot believe, but let's start with the cheapest set and work our way up. Now, the cheapest set here is a $10 Spider-Man vs. Ghost Rider motorcycle with 2 minifigs and 72 pieces. In fact, in the entire history of LEGO Marvel, this is only the 4th set ever to be $10 with 2 minifigs, and that new Ghost Rider makes this one amazing. I can't believe that he's got the penance stare going on with the flames in his eyes. That's something really dark for LEGO Marvel to actually capture here, but it looks so good, and I love these new fire blast elements on the hands. I don't know if they're actually brand new pieces. They kind of look like something that could be in Ninjago, but they're certainly new for LEGO Marvel, and that's really cool. The bike itself is a pretty nice little build here. Nothing too crazy or revolutionary, but overall for 10 bucks, I think this set is an instant buy for most LEGO Marvel fans. Bumping up to the 1999 range, this is the Spider-Man car versus Venomized Wolverine. This is one of those sets that kind of makes me roll my eyes because, like, why does Spider-Man need a car? The only reason he needs a car is because Lego needs to sell a toy of it. But as far as the minifigs are concerned, it's just the regular standard Spider-Man and a brand new Venomized Wolverine, which in like historic comic book lore doesn't really have a ton of precedent. But something I do think is interesting is how the Venom symbol is kind of like made out over the yellow of Wolverine's torso. And I've compared this with every LEGO Wolverine we've gotten to date, and it's not a specific type of Wolverine torso underneath, so it's not like a Venomized version of the X-Men 97 or something like that. It appears to be a completely new Wolverine suit design, and of course from these images we can only see the front angles, so I'm not really sure if there's like more detail on the back, or if the head is reversible at this time, but the black helmet mold is really cool here, and I think this set is really nice, but it's definitely one of those ones you're just buying to get that Venomized Wolverine as a minifigure completist like I am. Anyways, bumping up to the $25 range, I cannot believe we're getting this set. This is the Epic Battle Spider-Man vs. Sandman from Spider-Man 3. Now, of course, we got the Spider-Man 2 train last year, but for $25 with 3 minifigures and 200 pieces, this is literally one of the best priced LEGO Marvel sets of recent memory, and I gotta be honest with you guys, it actually brought a tear of joy to my eye when I saw this for the first time. I'm literally not kidding. I love this set so much. I can't believe the price value here. And of course, we got to talk about those minifigs. We get Sandman, Spider-Man, and Venom. Spider-Man is the same one from like the No Way Home Statue of Liberty set, but the Sandman is brand new here. Very interesting design. I think he probably should have had a hairpiece, but also like for the final battle of this movie, Sandman is so big, I'm shocked we're getting him as a minifig here at all. But I think the MVP here is Venom. I cannot believe we are getting a Raimi Universe Venom minifigure in 2026. This is so cool. I honestly think this is one of my favorite LEGO Marvel minifigures in quite some time, and I absolutely cannot wait to get this set, open it, and display it. Of course, it also kicks off a new thing called the Epic Moment Collection, where we'll see another one here in just a moment, and that moment is right now. The Epic Battle Hulkbuster versus the Hulk, of course from Age of Ultron and the Infinity Saga for $50. Now, this one does look really, really cool. It's the same concept, right, where we get like a little circular base plate brick built with a bunch of, action going on. And here you can see the Hulkbuster suit versus Hulk, and you can even see the Veronica glove flying in there, which is a really cool attention to detail. Just like the last set, there's a little tile that appears to be printed with the movie title and who, of course, is involved in the fight. And that brings us to the minifigures, giving us the Age of Ultron Iron Man with arm printing for the first time. Iron Man minifigs with arm printing are exceptionally rare, so this is incredibly cool to see. And speaking of incredible things, we've got the Hulk over here, and this time he has like the Scarlet Witch possessed red eyes, which is really, really cool. It's the first time we've ever gotten that on any LEGO Hulk. It does appear to use the same body from the most recent version of Age of Ultron Hulk, but overall, I think that this is really, really cool, and I love this build. I'm really excited to see what it looks like in person. I will say there are some things about the proportions of the suit that I don't like kind of the chest area feels a little too bulky on top and a little too thin around the like waistline, but honestly, it's hard to judge from these images. I really want to see it in person before I make a final judgment call. Now, this moves us into the $100 price range, getting a little more expensive, but this, of course, is Spider-Man vs. Mysterio, the Daily Bugle. This is a part of the mini modular series that debuted earlier this year. And man, this looks amazing. This basically confirms that the original modular Daily Bugle is going to get retired, because I can't imagine that both of these would be on store shelves at the same time, but I do like this a lot. It's a lot more budget friendly. Of course, it's going to fit in with the Marvel Street we have so far. There are tons and tons of references and Easter eggs like symbiotes, is anyone safe, and Crusher Hogan's wrestling comeback. Of course, that's referencing the wrestler that Spider-Man fights against in the comics. Of course, in the movies, it's Bonesaw, but in the comics, it's Crusher Hogan. So that's a really, really cool deep cut reference there. I love that. And then for the minifigures, we get 3 repeat minifigs with Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man, and J. Jonah Jameson. And I'm calling him a repeat minifigure because the head is from the Daily Bugle modular, the torso is from like Michael Scott, Creed Bratton, as well as Professor X, and the hair's coming other places, so it's kind of like a mixed match of parts. I also think it looks quite a bit like Mobius from Loki, so that's kind of interesting too. Anyways, we get 4 brand new minifigures, including a Rhino minifig that reuses that same Rhino headpiece you would imagine that he would reuse. And then, of course, we also get a brand new torso here, which is nice. A Venomized Captain America, which really doesn't have any comic book precedent, but it's an interesting Lego design. I really compared the notes, and it does appear to be an original Captain America design as far as the torso is involved. It does look a little bit like that 4+ Captain America torso, but I think that there are some slight differences here. Moving down to the legs, we're getting leg printing, which is crazy. If you guys really think about it, the only other time Lego Steve Rogers has had leg printing outside of a Comic-Con figure was on the zombie Captain America. So we've never gotten a Lego Steve Rogers that have both legs printed or even dual molded for that matter. So this one looks really cool. I love the more modern update here on Mysterio. We've gotten him from the MCU, we've gotten him from the comics, but this is a very modern reimagining of the suit. Of course, we're getting that rubber cape this time in that kind of magenta purple color, and I really like that zombified skull head underneath the fishbowl. That looks great. And we're getting a brand new Miles Morales. It's amazing how they've come up with so many different like torso variations for Miles' suit, which doesn't really have all that many variations across comic book media, but I think that this set at $100 looks like a really, really good value. 781 pieces, and we are getting 7 minifigs. So I could see some people arguing that maybe this is a little on the pricey side, but I think it's good value for $100, and every Lego set goes on sale eventually, so if you could get this one on sale, even better. Now, jumping up to the highest price set of the January wave, we have the $130 Iron Man Mark III Collector's Edition. This thing has 1,297 pieces, and it's kind of a first of its kind for Lego Marvel. It reminds me a lot of like the Chewbacca statue from Star Wars, but a million times better. The posability on this is awesome. I did get to see it in person at Fan Media Days. I can attest this one looks even better in person than it does in these photos, and I gotta say, I think it looks pretty good in these photos too. This Iron Man also has a brand new torso with the great arm printing, which looks really great. And I love this a lot. I think that this one is certainly worth the price at $130 in just under 1,300 pieces. The price-to-piece ratio is just about right, and honestly, I think this is one of our best LEGO Superheroes waves in quite some time, because not only are a lot of these set ideas new or things we haven't gotten before, but also they're great retellings in the case of like the Daily Bugle of scaling it down to a new, scale here. Of course, getting the new Epic Moments collection with that. Those look great. A Spider-Man 3 set in 2026. Just so great. I'm so glad to see LEGO Marvel is taking the new year by storm, and if this is any indication, I think we are in for some great LEGO Marvel stuff. I love the values here, I love the concepts of the sets, and I like pretty much everything in this wave, and I couldn't tell you how excited I am. I've been in LEGO Marvel since 2002, and this is, in my opinion, one of the best value waves we've ever gotten. So, let me know what of these sets you're most excited to get and see yourself. Be sure to stay tuned. I will be reviewing all of these as I'm able to, and thank you guys so much for checking out today's video, and I'll catch you guys next time.